across the stars, through your speakers, and into whatever dimension you find yourself in. Greetings, spacefaring friends. Felix Andromeda here, your pilot on this week's voyage through the Intergalactic Insider. Now, I know for some of you, the sun's barely peeking over the horizon of your home planet, while others are sipping nebula teenies under the glow of multiple moons. Some might be listening during their morning commute on a hyperloop, while others are catching this on a replay during their third cryo-sleep cycle. Time. Well, let's just say it gets a little bendy when you're hurtling between star systems, doesn't it? But no matter where or when you're tuning in, settle in. You know those moments when you need a cosmic catch-up session? The kind of news that makes you think, wait, so there's a black hole casually forming near Neptune? Or, did that alien species invent a cure for the galactic hiccups? Well, consider this your weekly dose of the bizarre, the heartwarming, and the downright mind-boggling stories swirling around the galaxy. We're talking about orbital trash turning into a galactic battleground. A reunion across the stars that'll make even a battle-hardened space pirate shed a tear. The controversial Immortality Serum that could change everything, or lead to utter chaos. And of course, we're bringing you front row seats to the Zero-G Wrestling Championships, where the laws of physics take a serious vacation. As always, if something out there in the vastness makes you scratch your head, or all three of them for those so inclined, hit us up on the socials. We want to hear your theories, your questions, and maybe even your eyewitness accounts of that strange glowing orb you saw hovering above your asteroid garden. All right, fellow navigators of the universe, let's blast off into this week's news. All right, folks, time to tackle the elephant in the orbit, or rather, the mountain of malfunctioning satellites, rogue rocket boosters, and assorted space junk that's become the not-so-scenic Great Pacific garbage patch of the cosmos. Now, this isn't just an eyesore, it's a full-blown hazard. Joining me today to dissect this mess, we have Dr. Astra Debris, a top astroecologist, and Captain Rhea Starr, a veteran space salvage pilot. Welcome to you both. Dr. Debris, let's start with the basics. Just how bad is this orbital landfill situation?
It's worse than bad, Felix. Decades of irresponsible launches and a lack of disposal protocols have created a minefield of debris. We're talking millions of objects swirling around, ranging from paint flecks to defunct stations. Each piece a potential missile waiting to puncture a satellite or, worse, a crewed ship.
Yikes! And Captain Starr, I imagine your salvage runs have gotten a lot more exciting recently?
Exciting is one word for it. It's like navigating a pinball machine, where the pinballs can explode. Dodging debris has become a full-time job on top of our actual work. Makes me wonder when someone's going to invent windshield wipers for spaceships.
Duly noted, we've got a live feed from the socials. Xeno92 from the Andromeda cluster asks, isn't this a self-solving problem? Won't this junk eventually burn up in the atmosphere? Dr. Debris, your thoughts?
Sadly, no. Most of this debris orbits high, where atmospheric drag won't bring it down naturally. We're talking centuries before some pieces deorbit, and collisions create even more debris, a dangerous exponential effect.
A chain reaction waiting to happen. To add a bit of history, we turn to Professor Cosmos, renowned in-universe historian. Professor, can you shed light on past civilizations who've grappled with messes of their own making?
Alas, Felix, the cosmic garbage heap isn't the first mess we've made. Let's journey back to ancient Earth. Picture their vast oceans, once teeming with life, choked with swirling islands of plastic. Their skies, a swirling storm of noxious fumes coughed out by unchecked industry. They suffered the consequences Rising tides, poisoned water, shifting weather patterns. It took near catastrophe for them to realize their world, much like a spaceship, was a delicate, interconnected system. It's a tale as old as sentience itself, the struggle between short-term convenience and long-term survival. The question is, have we learned from their mistakes, or are we doomed to repeat them on a galactic scale?
Some show promise, but there's a catch. The cost. Who foots the bill? Governments? Private companies? And let's not forget the legal red tape entangling space salvage.
Captain's right. We often have the tech, but not the collective will. Reminds me of the early days of climate action on Earth. All debate, no real change.
Well, that's a sobering comparison. But before we get totally bogged down, we've got breaking news. Reports of a major collision in low orbit. Looks like a communications satellite got sideswiped. We'll keep you updated as the situation develops. This highlights the urgency, folks. Dr. Debris, long term, what are the real consequences if we don't clean up our cosmic act?
We could see the Kessler syndrome, a density point where collisions become so frequent it creates an impenetrable debris barrier. We could lose satellites vital for communication, navigation, even weather forecasting back on our planets.
No more checking the nebula forecast. No fun. Seems like prevention is key. Captain Starr, any parting words of hope for our listeners?
Hope, yes. New tech's emerging. Better tracking, materials that shatter less on impact. But the change needs to be in the mindset. Designing for disposal from the get-go. International treaties. It's not just about the tech fix. It's about taking responsibility for our cosmic backyard.
Well said, Captain. Folks, this is just a taste of a complex issue. Stay tuned for updates. Up next, a story guaranteed to warm the coldest corners of your heart, even in the depths of space. Alright folks, prepare to recalibrate your navigational systems for a dose of pure cosmic wonder. We often hear about the dangers of space, but today we're celebrating a miracle. Joining me is Commander Lara Fenn, Head of Search and Rescue for the Interstellar Alliance, and Dr. Silas Munro, a renowned expert in long-duration space adaptation. Commander, give us the heart of this story. Rumor has it there just was a reunion years in the making.
Absolutely, Felix. A young human, Tara, was lost during a family exploration mission a decade ago. A malfunction sent her vessel hurtling into uncharted space. We never stopped searching, but hope dwindled with each passing year.
That's unimaginable. And now?
A few days ago, a faint distress signal. It matched Tara's ship's beacon. Against all odds, she was alive. Our team raced to the coordinates and, well, tears don't do well in zero-G, but let's just say it was a reunion that restored my faith in the galaxy.
Wow. Dr. Moreau surviving alone, essentially adrift for a decade. How is this even possible?
The human body and mind have remarkable resilience, especially in children. Tara likely entered a form of long-term hibernation, her metabolism slowing. Her ship's AI must have protected her, kept vital systems running.
A stroke of luck, and some smart tech. But waking up after so long, that's got to be disorienting.
Incredibly so. We're talking sensory readjustment, possible cognitive delays. Reintegration will be a gradual process. But remember, pioneers throughout history have faced isolation, endured harsh conditions. The human spirit is a stubborn, if sometimes foolish thing.
Stubborn in a good way, I hope. Now this is where the story gets a personal touch. We have a transmission from Tara's mother, Mira. Mira, if you're listening, our hearts go out to you.
10 years, that's a long time to live with an echo. You see, when your child gets lost in the supermarket, at least you know they're still on the same planet. But when they're lost in space, it's a whole different kind of emptiness. That vastness out there, it just swallows you whole. You try clinging to routines, plotting star charts, checking oxygen levels. Your hands stay busy, but your mind, it drifts. I'd imagine Tara was okay, living on some undiscovered world, maybe teaching alien kids how to do cartwheels. Other times, well, let's just say the endless silence of space makes for a real lively horror show in your head. There were moments I wanted to rage at the stars, curse the malfunction that took her. Other days, I just felt numb, like a comet that's lost its fiery tail. I even tried those goofy space yoga programs, you know, the ones with the Find Your Inner Nebula voiceovers. Figured, couldn't hurt, right? Then that signal, faint as a distant heartbeat. But hope, it turns out, makes a surprisingly loud noise. Suddenly, I wasn't just going through the motions. I was practically vibrating with the need to reach her. And when we found her, my little star shining as if no time had passed, it was like the whole galaxy exhaled right along with me. I don't know what comes next. Bridging a gap like that, it's uncharted territory, but I swear on all the moons of Jupiter, I'll make up for lost time. Even if it means relearning those tween pop songs I thought I'd escaped, or getting schooled in whatever intergalactic slang the kids use these days. Some things, I guess, a mother just never outgrows.
Chills down the spine with that one, folks. Commander Fenn, how are Tara and her family coping after all this time?
It's overwhelming, naturally. Joy, a tinge of guilt, then the daunting task of bridging a decade-wide gap. We have counselors on hand, specialists in what we call temporal reunification.
Sounds like a field of the future. Speaking of futures, we have a breaking news update. It seems that mysterious signal interference in the Orion Nebula. Scientists believe they've pinpointed the source. Stay tuned for more on that one. But for now, back to our heartwarming story. Dr. Moreau, long term, what are the potential concerns for Tara?
Physically, she'll adapt remarkably fast. The bigger hurdle may be psychological. She missed a decade of her life, a universe moving on without her. It takes a special kind of strength to catch up.
And what message does this send to those who traverse the cosmos?
Never give up hope. Space is vast and unforgiving, but miracles lurk out there, and it's a reminder to double-check those safety protocols on family cruisers, folks.
Duly noted? Well, this story proves that even in the darkest corner of the galaxy, a beacon of hope can flicker back to life. As we track that mystery signal in the Orion Nebula, take heart, space travelers, you're never truly alone. And that's our heartwarming story for this segment. But before we delve deeper into the cosmos, let's take a quick break to thank our sponsors, who help keep the Intergalactic Insider transmissions flowing smoother than a starship, fueled by pure starlight.
Accidentally vaporize a moon? Get wrongly imprisoned by that totalitarian galactic regime? End up married to a sentient nebula due to a drunken spaceport bender? Don't panic, call Xlax. With more tentacles than a legal library and a moral compass that spins faster than a pulsar, Xlax is the lawyer you want when you're out of options.
Look, folks, the galaxy's a messy place. Sometimes you need someone who knows how to play dirty. I've gotten space pirates off with temporary insanity and helped CEOs dodge planetary destruction charges. Need to sue an entire species? I'm your mollusk.
Xlax specializes in loopholes, bribes, suspiciously convenient accidents befalling your enemies, and getting you out of contracts you signed while under the influence of Orion mindworms. Results not guaranteed, but hey, neither is your freedom. Xlax, because sometimes justice is slimy.
Welcome back, spacefarers. We've got a mystery brewing in the Orion Nebula. That strange signal interference scientists have been tracking. Could it be a long-lost alien civilization? A rogue space pirate with a penchant for technobabble? We'll crack open that cosmic egg in due time, so stay tuned to Intergalactic Insider. Remember, the universe is a wondrous, wacky place, and we're here to navigate it with you. All right, folks, strap on your philosophical blast shields, because today we're tackling the biggest question of all. Can we cheat death itself? Rumors of a new serum promising indefinite lifespans have set the galaxy ablaze. Joining me to untangle this cosmic conundrum are Dr. Zara Ethos, a bioethicist specializing in a trans-species medicine, and Dr. Cygnus Vega, a pioneer on age reversal therapies. Dr. Ethos, let's dive in. Is this Immortality Serum science fact or science fiction?
The science is undeniably groundbreaking, Felix. This serum works on a level we've never seen before, targeting cellular regeneration in a way that could, in theory, halt, perhaps even reverse, the aging process.
Halt the aging process? Okay, now, you have my attention. So no more creaky knees when I go asteroid hopping. No need to search the classifieds for antique replacement cybernetics. Dr. Vega, surely there's a catch with something this monumental.
As always, Felix, the universe loves its fine print. Yes, we might conquer aging, but we could end up unleashing a whole new set of galaxy-sized problems. Imagine a world where population growth spirals out of control, where resources become scarce, and where the very fabric of society is stretched to its breaking point.
Sounds like it's time for a galactic town hall meeting, and quick. Speaking of sounding off, our feeds are blowing up. Luna from the Titan colony asks, if only a select few can afford this, does that create a whole new class divide? The immortals versus the rest of us.
Luna raises a profoundly important issue. This serum has the potential to exacerbate existing inequalities, creating a two-tiered society with unimaginable consequences. We could witness social unrest on a scale the galaxy has never known.
And when civilizations start to crumble, things always get messy. For some historical context, let's turn to Professor Cosmos. Professor, take us back to times when the promise of extended life caused chaos and upheaval.
The siren song of immortality echoes through the ages, Felix. Let's revisit the gilded halls of ancient Earth, an era when emperors and the staggeringly wealthy unlocked the secrets to extending their years. The common folk, denied this privilege, watched their loved ones wither, while the elites clung to a twisted parody of life. The whispers of resentment grew into a deafening roar. Revolts erupted, fueled by a potent mix of rage and despair. Those who'd been granted unnatural lifespans were hunted down, their hoarded elixirs shattered. The very notion of a fair lifespan became a rallying cry that toppled dynasties. But let us not forget another tale plucked from a star chart far, far away. The Xylons, a gentle race known for their wisdom, made a similar breakthrough, yet instead of hoarding this knowledge, they agonized. Their elders foresaw the danger, the erosion of empathy, an unbearable stagnation as younger generations saw no chance to step into their own light. In an extraordinary act, the Xylon Council made a choice. The formula destroyed. They understood that true progress is built on a delicate balance, and that sometimes the greatest gift is knowing your time in the cosmic dance is limited.
Wow, Professor. Those stories certainly give us a lot to chew on. History, it seems, is offering starkly different warnings. Back to our experts. Dr. Vega, beyond the social fallout, are there any potential biological risks we should be worried about?
Unfortunately, yes. Unchecked cellular regeneration is a double-edged sword. The risk of uncontrolled growth, even something similar to cancerous mutations, is very real. And on a psychological level, imagine the toll of outliving everyone you love, century after century, witnessing the rise and fall of worlds.
It sounds like a recipe for a new breed of cosmic nihilists on our hands. Yet knowing how we tend to operate, humans and our thrill-seeking alien friends, many would consider the risk worth the reward.
Therein lies the greatest dilemma, Felix. Our endless drive for more time, more experiences, is fundamentally at odds with a universe built on delicate balances. The question isn't just, can we circumvent the natural order, but should we?
Deep thoughts, folks. Sadly, we're out of time for today, but fear not. We'll stay on this story, unraveling its complexities as it develops. In the meantime, we want to hear from you. We're launching a poll on the socials. Would you take the Immortality Serum? Cast your vote, and let's see how divided the galaxy is on this whole cheating death business. Up next, a different kind of defying limits. Alright, sports fans, prepare for a smackdown of cosmic proportions. We're ringside for the finale of the Intergalactic Zero-Gravity Wrestling Championship. Mayhem? Absolutely. Acrobatics that make a nebula ballet look tame? You betcha. Joining me are two luminaries of the Zero-G world, Zeno the Crusher Zorlax, retired champ and legend of the sport, along with sports commentator Astra Blitz, whose voice is known to send shockwaves from here to the Andromeda Galaxy. Zeno set the stage for those unfamiliar with this spectacle. How does one even wrestle in zero gravity?
Forget your notions of grappling on the ground, Felix. It's about controlled chaos, understanding momentum, and predicting trajectories. 1 second you're floating like a space jellyfish, the next you're a bio-powered missile ready to wreak havoc. Turns the whole idea of a body slam inside out.
Astra, I'm seeing a flurry of comments flooding in on the socials. What's got the galaxy buzzing leading up to this epic showdown?
It's the classic clash of titans, Felix. Kratos the Mauler, the reigning champ, a powerhouse of brute strength against Lyra the Comet Swift, a whirlwind of agility and unpredictable tactics. We love a clash of contrasting styles.
Sounds like it's about to get explosive. Speaking of which, we're getting breaking news. Folks, security's reporting some major malfunction with the arena's grav field generator. Sabotage suspected. Expect things to get bumpy out there. Back to the match. Zeno Zero-G isn't just about who hits hardest, is it?
Not even close. Strategy is the real weapon here. Knowing how to use the arena's walls, those tether lines. I even won a match once by using my opponent's sneeze and a strategically placed airflow vent. It's about creativity and cunning.
So basically a sport tailor-made for the cleverly devious. Speaking of history, Professor Cosmos, let's get some perspective. Have we witnessed anything like Zero-G in civilizations gone by?
The roar of a crowd echoing through an arena. It's a sound as old as sentient life itself. Ancient Earth had its gladiators locked in brutal combat, a spectacle fueled by bloodlust. Zero-G, thankfully, is more about finesse, yet a contest remains a contest. Think back to the sleek ships of the Solaris windsurfers, their gravity-defying maneuvers more akin to an aerial dance. These ancient races understood, as we do, the thrill of witnessing the limits of physics tested, bodies pushed to the brink. It's a primal fascination, a way of vicariously conquering those forces that bind us to the Earth, or to a planet's surface, as the case may be.
Poetic as always, Professor. Folks, get ready. The match is about to begin. Astra, Zeno, final predictions. Who walks, well, floats away with the championship belt?
My head says Kratos with his sheer power, but my gut's telling me Lyra's got a few surprises up her sleeve. That comet's known for some out-of-the-box moves.
Never underestimate the underdog, Felix, or the sheer will to defy gravity itself. May the best aim and the most unpredictable trajectory win.
Wise words. Folks, strap yourselves in. In 0G, anything can happen. And speaking of unpredictability, a stray energy surge from the grav field malfunction sends the wrestlers careening off course. It looks like we're in for a whole new level of chaos.
Oh, the cosmos is laughing at us right now. Kratos, he was lining up that Nebula Crusher move, and bam! Suddenly he's spiraling into the crowd section.
Lyra's quick thinking saved her. Grabbed a tether at the last second. What agility. But this match, it's completely overturned. Regulations are out the airlock right now.
We're getting official word, folks. The match is declared a no contest. The groans from the audience could collapse a black hole. This is unheard of in championship history.
Felix, for those who might be a few time zones behind or tuning in late, let's break it down. In zero-gravity wrestling, the key to maneuvering and grappling isn't brute strength, but something called a grav field generator. Imagine an invisible dome that creates a pocket of artificial gravity around the arena. This allows the wrestlers to push off, jump, and perform those incredible aerial moves we all love. Now, the malfunction we're witnessing is a major malfunction with this very generator. Instead of a steady field, it seems to be fluctuating wildly, throwing the entire arena into disarray. This is why Kratos was sent careening off course and why Lyra had to rely on her reflexes to grab a tether. The implications are huge. A reliable grav field is the foundation of the entire sport. Without it, not only is safety compromised, but the very nature of competition changes. This could be a black eye for zero-G wrestling, or it could be the spark that ignites a whole new era of unpredictable, anything-goes matches. The Zero-G League will be picking through this wreckage for weeks. Did Lyra have an unfair advantage due to the malfunction? Was Kratos cheated out of the obvious win?
The rules haven't caught up to the technology, Felix. We need a whole new clause book for when the arena itself becomes a player in the match.
Well, folks, if there's one thing we've learned, it's to expect the unexpected. This championship is in disarray, the implications rippling through the sports world. We're trying to get statements from the wrestlers themselves, but until then, let's go to the crowd.
Refund. This mockery won't stand. I traveled light years for this.
Actually, coolest match ever. Lyra surfing on that energy surge. Unreal. New rules. New sport.
The galaxy is divided, Felix. It's a perfect microcosm of the debate to come. Zero-G is at a crossroads.
And there's no going back. Now let's hear from those thrown into the cosmic storm, if we can even reach them through this chaos.
Honestly, kind of terrifying, but you work with what you're given. Might need to design suits with built-in thrusters now.
Win snatched from my grasp. Unacceptable. League owes me a rematch with a guarantee on gravity itself.
Disappointment, anger, a sense of the rules being turned inside out. Folks, we'll break down every second of this controversial match and its fallout in a special Zero-G special. Don't miss it. Now, after all of that, I think we need a serious palate cleanser. Let's delve into the soothing soundscapes and meteorological wonders of the galaxy with our final segment, the Intergalactic Weather Report. But before that, a word from our sponsor.
Lost in the swirling mists of uncertainty, tangled in the cosmic web of doubt, need to know if that Regellian hottie really likes you or just your spaceship? Consult Madame Zorblax, the astral psychic.
With my third eye, I pierce the veil of time and space. The cosmos whispers its secrets, and I translate.
Madame Zorblax can predict your future, locate misplaced starships, communicate with your dearly departed space hamster, and help you dodge those pesky interstellar X's. Worried about a surprise inspection from the Galactic Tax Authority? Madame Zorblax will see it coming and advise on the best nebula to hide your assets in.
Remember, The stars hold your destiny, and I hold the galactic cheat sheet.
Madam Zorblax, not technically licensed, not bound by earthly ethics, but surprisingly accurate, most of the time. Results not guaranteed. Prophecies are occasionally influenced by passing comets and nebular static. Madam Zorblax is not liable for misunderstandings, misinterpretations, or existentially distressing revelations.
Well, folks, after that chaotic wrestling match, we all need a little serenity. A calming balm for the cosmic nerves. And who better to provide that serenity than our very own astrometeorologist extraordinaire, Comet Channing? Comet, are you patched in from your weather station orbiting a rogue asteroid?
Reporting for duty, Felix. Though for your information, this particular asteroid isn't so rogue anymore. We've been negotiating a sweet lease deal with the inhabitants. Turns out they're a bunch of rock-obsessed mollusks with a soft spot for polka music. Who knew?
Mollusks with musical taste? The plot thickens. But enough about interstellar real estate deals. Give us the down low on what's brewing in the cosmic weather soup.
Well, Felix, buckle up for a wild ride. We've got a solar flare throwing a tantrum on Proxima Centauri b. Scientists are calling it the Great Plasma Pout, which, let's be honest, is just adorable for a solar flare.
The Great Plasma Pout sounds like something a toddler throws when they don't get their space juice. Anything closer to home that might disrupt our listeners' weekend barbecues?
Actually, things are looking stellar on most major vacation spots. Although there have been reports of rogue space jellyfish showers on the beaches of Zircon 7.
Space jellyfish showers sounds refreshing. Not. Any tips for our listeners who might get caught in a gelatinous downpour?
Don't fret, Felix. Pack an umbrella woven from moonvine fibres. It'll deflect the stings and make a fantastic conversation starter at your next cocktail party. Hey, check out this umbrella I used to ward off space jellyfish. Fascinating creatures, really.
Never a dull moment in the cosmos, is there, Comet? Now, before we wrap it up, a quick shout-out to our wonderful sponsors.
Folks, let's be honest, blending in is boring. You pass through space, just another face in those holographic crowds. That's where I come in. I'm in the business of unforgettable. Ever wanted an extra eye, maybe in the back of your head, just to be safe? How about skin that shimmers like a nebula sunset? Or, and hear me out, a prehensile tail? Think of the possibilities. High-fiving yourself, braiding your own hair. The galaxy's your limit. Sure, they'll stare. The scientists will poke and prod. The timid ones might shriek. But you'll be a legend. A walking, talking, multi-eyed curiosity. With a little help from the unforgettable you'll never be just another alien, human, or hybrid again. So what are you waiting for? Embrace the extraordinary.
And welcome back. Thanks to our sponsors for their stellar support. Comet, final word on the forecast before we all drift.
Smooth sailing ahead, Felix. Remember, keep your spacesuits dry and your telescopes pointed skyward. You never know what celestial wonder you might just catch a glimpse of.
That's all the time we have for today, folks. Thanks for joining us on this intergalactic journey. If you have any questions, comments, or weird weather phenomena you'd like us to investigate, don't hesitate to fire away on the socials. Until next time, may your days be bright and your wormholes distortion-free.